Right, so I've said from day one that Russia was not trying to take over Ukraine. The very first day, February 24th, I said, I don't think you're going to see Russian tanks rolling through Kiev, right? And then I said again and again and again. And then I said, they're not trying to take over the whole of Ukraine. They're doing what they were trying to do, which was get the eastern provinces. And that's that. And they got them. They won way back last year. I posted videos about that too. But all through spring 2022 and summer 2022, I posted they've won. Way back in the summer. Maybe even this spring. I certainly said they're not trying to take over the whole Ukraine, top of the government, put everyone at gunpoint many times. I also told you that there was no Russian convoy 40 miles long headed to Kiev. That did not exist. There was satellite photos of half-mile convoy somewhere with no tanks in it, just trucks. And that's all you ever saw. So you were fooled. Russia was never trying to take over the whole of Ukraine and topple the government. They were after those eastern provinces. There was no Russian convoy, a 40-mile-long convoy headed to Kiev. Period and full stop. Wagner was not trying to take over Moscow, right? They just went back because they got sick of it. They didn't expect to be there for more than a year. And they probably didn't even know that they were supposed to only take the eastern provinces and hold it. They were used by Putin as basically cannon fodder. And then they wanted to go home and get paid. So they went home and then maybe got paid, and maybe that guy's dead, their leader. But it wasn't trying to take over Moscow. You're naive. Oh, I can't believe it. I can't even do these videos anymore without insulting people. You know, what am I supposed to do here? I'm the only one that saw through this from the get-go. Russia was never trying to take over the whole Ukraine. You're not an idiot. You were told all sorts of lies. But you should have been listening to me instead of all these other idiots. Even the ones who had the story right about the history and everything, what went on in 2014, and, you know, the whole idea of NATO crushing up to the border. Yeah, that's all well and good. But even all those people on the fringe media who are really good, were doing a really good job, didn't realise, they didn't understand that Russia was never trying to take over the whole Ukraine top of the government, right? That was never happened. That was never a thing. The convoy did not exist. Those convoys headed to Kiev. Wasn't there? And Wagner didn't try and take over Moscow. That's a joke story. You're all being lied to all the time, including the current situation in Israel. Most of you don't even understand that. So follow my channel and my pages, right? But still, so many people are still talking about this as if Russia was trying to take over the whole of Ukraine, and they've been pushed back to those border regions. They just went back to the border regions, which they did a pincer movement around Ukraine to nullify military enemy and things like that, military forces, and take out what they thought were the Nazi brigades and all that, which they achieved. And then the fascists, basically, white supremacists is what we're talking about here. And then they went back and took the bit they said they were going to take. In fact, they took more than I think they said were originally intending. So they got it. It's over. They got those provinces on the western side of their border, and they won a long time ago, more than a year ago, more than a year and a half ago. They won. Stop talking as if, they are now negotiating because they're in a hard position. No, they're just there, sitting there, unfortunately having to kill Ukrainian borderline children now, and old men being sent to the Ukrainian front line by Ukraine, right? So this is making Zelensky into a criminal. However, no matter where he was before this, I don't know. He always seemed a bit dodgy to me, but now he's definitely a criminal, just sending those old men and young, almost children, borderline 17, 18-year-olds into the front line to die. Because Russia is just there, and it has to shoot these people that are shooting at it, and that's it. Shooting at them. They've got it. You're never going to get it back. A nuclear war is the only way you'll ever get it back. That's not going to happen. It's over. So stop talking as if Russia was trying to take over the whole Ukraine and now has to negotiate. It doesn't. It's just sitting there going, they've moved on. They've moved on, basically. And they're entrenched. They don't need to do anything. They'd rather not have to have their people shot at, their soldiers, and other people in the Donbass. But Zelensky and all the others keep sending these boys in to die. It's disgusting. Same thing's going to happen in Israel, by the way. It's just to be a long-term quagmire for Israel. And so that's what's happened. Russia got what they wanted. I said it way back. The first day I said you're not going to see Russian tanks rolling. It was obvious that that is not the attack of an international superpower. Those first few days as a joke. It was just, it was obvious that that was not some superpower attack. They were taking the eastern provinces, and that's it. So why are people still saying it as if Russia's like on the back foot? They're not. They're just entrenched in. They won. They're moving on to other things. You're the only ones, like the Ukrainians, the Americans, people like that, still think there's something that can happen there. No, you can't. Yes, you do have to negotiate, but you won't get anything because they got what they wanted. You should have negotiated spring 2022, right? March 2022, but you stopped Zelensky negotiating, didn't you? The UK and the USA. You're criminals, you're war criminals. You're the ones that should be brought down.